Say the thing you're afraid to say. Say it out loud, no matter what it is, no matter how bad.
Jesus Christ, Joel. What did you do?
I saved her.
And this is exactly where I want to begin my video review, with the saving, this great deed that Joel did for Ellie and for himself. I mean, he saved her, right? So we gotta have to deal with the repercussions of this saving, because you know, actions have consequences, and we're about to get a whole season of a lot of consequences. So if you are a fan of The Last of Us, you are in the right place. I'm a big fan of the game, I played it many times, and I think I can confidently say that I'm speaking for obviously not every fan, but for a lot of us, that with time of all those adaptations, whether it's books or video games, we kinda learn to distinguish when the changes that are made from the source material to the adaptations are made by people who actually love the source material or by people who despise it. And I can confidently say that The Last of Us is showing to us and proving to us already many times that it's done by people who really appreciate and probably are also fans of this amazing masterpiece of a game. So right before we begin, just a small warning, this video is probably mostly for people who played and enjoyed the game. I will do my best not to spoil anything, okay, definitely not to spoil any big moments of the upcoming events, but still I can explain some of the moments that happened in episode 1 and it will reveal some information for you that still you are not aware of if you haven't played the games. So in case you don't want to get any spoilers, like nothing at all, probably this video is not for you. I will appreciate it if you will come back later. Anyway, so let's start with this amazing shot that right away shows us so much of information. We have the Firefly medallions, we have the crosses, the graves, so we have a lot of casualties after, you know, Joel saving Ellie there, and we have the giraffes there on the horizon. Now I just love the shot, but what I enjoy even more that in this shot the cinematographers are creating a very simple trick to show us that Abby is different from her group. All of her friends are looking at the graveyards, they are processing grief. She is in a very different state of mind than they are. Okay, this is once again a very simple trick, and us the audience right away we know that she's not with them. She has her own goals and her own motivation, and she's looking at the giraffes. Now, she lost somebody, we know that, like in the next shots we're gonna see that she's grieving somebody, she's like holding the cross and she's about to find Joel and make him hurt and make him suffer, and she wants to kill him slowly. So she is processing the grief through anger. Everybody else is just grieving and she cannot, you know, process this pain that she's feeling, so she resorts to revenge and to anger, and she's looking at the giraffes. Now if you remember, season 1 ended with Ellie and Joel looking at the giraffes, having this serenity moment, you know, finally embracing every connection that they have. They are sort of a dad and a daughter, even though they are not related by blood, but this moment was like them being a dad and a daughter, and not just in, you know, I'm gonna save you right now situation, just enjoying life together. And we have a very opposite view here, because it doesn't matter who Abby lost. Every time she's gonna see giraffes, for her it's gonna be a reminder for this loss. So I already enjoy a very contrast way to show those two moments and those two characters. They're pretty similar but simultaneously very different. Now here in this moment I just enjoy those small little details, like there's a lot of conversation about, you know, nature taking back what was once hers, and we're seeing that the giraffes are basically playing on something that was a former football stadium. Like when we're zooming in, we are actually looking like a Bethany Claire field or something like this. There's probably touchdowns or something like this. I'm not very big on football, but you know, probably, yeah, you know, ball, strike, out, whatever. Maybe it's baseball. Maybe it's baseball. Yeah, probably it's baseball. Anyway, we have like, you know, Owen is talking about some Ed there that has a brother who runs an outfit in Seattle. And I thought maybe it's somebody who we know from the game. So I found this note. It's like, Eddie, I hope to God you're okay. The latest there's fallen, you know, like blah blah blah. I'm not gonna read the whole note for you because once again it can contain some spoilers, because we get familiar with the scars here. You don't know who scars are yet if you haven't played the game. But anyway, just a coincidence. And probably all of the names that are not really related to, to the characters that had some storylines in the games are just gonna be coincidental, because like in this moment when Ellie is talking about some kind of a Dominique that she traded her old boots for a gun, and here in the moment where Joel is talking to Tommy there, behind him there are some names like Sean T and Erin S. I looked and I looked and I looked and I wasn't able to find no Sean, no Erin in the known characters that lived in Jackson in the game. So probably just names. And I think it's kind of a, it's a little bit upsetting. Not too much, obviously, but the creators kind of missed a really nice opportunity for an Easter egg here to put some characters that maybe we were presented in the notes or in the side stories or whatever. Anyway, we're gonna get a lot of Easter eggs and we're gonna get to it in the end of the video. So moving forward, we have the conversation. Once again, Abby is trying to put everybody for revenge, and we are seeing her group. This is Manny, Nora, Mel, and Owen, and they are going to meet Isaac. Isaac once again is a character from the second game. We're gonna get familiar with him in the later episodes, probably, I think so. And we are seeing once again that she is grieving somebody, but there is no name, so we don't know who is that. Who did Abby lose? And she is promising to kill Joel, and she wants to kill him slowly. Now in this moment she's obviously a villain. First of all, we like Joel, we love Joel, we don't want anything bad happen to her. Second of all, even if it feels like maybe it's justified, like if you want to revenge somebody, because Joel did kill a lot of people in this hospital, even though he was protecting his daughter, still she can, be angry at somebody who killed someone who is close to her. But then again, it's very hard to sympathize with somebody who wants to enjoy suffering. I mean, we can probably think about anything that human being can do, almost every crime, and in certain situations it can be justified, like even murder, like everybody, like with their fantasy going back in time and killing baby Hitler, right? Like if it's Hitler, you can kill the motherfucker, obviously. If it's somebody who's like maybe done something horrible, yeah, murder sometimes even justified in this situation, killing somebody is justified in this situation. But the worst abuse that I can think of is obviously rape, because rape is not even something sexual most of the times, it's just a piece of shit of human being who enjoys the suffering of somebody else, of somebody who is innocent. Now obviously with revenge it's a bit different, because in your mind it's justified and you want to hurt somebody who hurt you. But if you are enjoying this, okay, like from my side at least, it's a little bit difficult to sympathize and empathize with you, because this is already a feature of not somebody who is righteous and seeking justice. This is a feature of a psychopath, a very bad person. Doesn't matter what is your goal, if you are looking to enjoy somebody else suffering, like this capability of enjoying pain of somebody else, it's just not something that makes you a better person. Let's put it lightly like this. And especially in this moment, this is the end of the episode already, she has like this little tiny smirk. First of all, hats off to the actress, she's doing an amazing job with Abby here, and I really enjoy this little smirk, because this is the moment that I really want to hate her. And the character and the actor are doing an amazing job for me in this situation, so I do really hate her right now, even though I spent for her only like 2 minutes of the whole time of this episode. So we're moving forward, and it's been 5 years since the event of the first season, and if you're not familiar, every week with every episode, Neil Druckmann, Troy Baker, who was voicing Joel in the game, and Craig Mazin, the creators of this show, they get together for a podcast, and they make my job and everybody else who is my colleague in YouTube way easier than it's supposed to be, because they're explaining absolutely everything, almost every situation, every change from the original script, every decision, and it's been put in an amazing way. So I'm just gonna let them explain what happens after 5 years. And we can clearly see it here, especially in this moment. Like if you remember in season 1, how terrifying it was for Joel to go to the place with 2 clickers, and now we have 2 girls, basically teenagers, pretty small, both of them not very physical, and they're just giggling and joking like we're gonna kill those clickers. They're not really a little bit terrified, because once again humanity has tendency to improve at something, especially at something when their life and their existence depends on it. So we are seeing right now that for them 2 clickers is not a very difficult situation already. And what happens with the place when it starts to become, you know, like that successful, that prosperous? It starts to grow. It's actually very similar to the whole cordyceps principle that was shown to us in season 1. Like, you know, cordyceps is basically moved by love. It wants to expand, it wants to impregnate everybody else who it touches. Very similar to humanity, and Jackson is doing well, so they want to expand. And when they want to expand, once again it's gonna take its toll. Oh, you see here there's also like a taken in refugees like Jesse and Dina saw footprints, followed them to a small encampment. 2 adults and 1 child in need of medical attention. Will be skipping the next lookout and taking them straight to town. We're seeing here Joel, for example. If you remember, before the war, before the whole apocalypse thing, he was in construction, and right now he's the foreman here, even though it's like, you know, not exactly the same place like it was before, but still they're trying to renovate some new homes, and Dina is there, is basically saying to him like, we need you there, man, but he's trying to fix things because he is a fixer, and every time something is broken, Joel will be there trying to fix it, if you know what I mean. Wink wink. So here we can see that the whole situation with the refugees that are coming to Jackson, I love the way it was presented, and I usually don't want to touch any political topic in my videos because it's very dividing right now, and I enjoy art because it unites people, because they usually talk about things that are similar and common to each and every one of us, you know, love, hate, revenge, whatever it is, like, you know, losing somebody. It doesn't really matter what are your political views, you probably want to love somebody, you're caring about somebody, and this moment it's definitely connected to the current US situation with the illegal immigration, with the immigration, whatever it is. I just enjoyed the way it was put here. Like, instead of just, you know, preaching, they basically showed us, you know, 2 sides of the argument. First of all, you know, like she was telling Joel that we need to help those people, we need to bring everybody in, they're fleeing the infected. If we're not gonna help them, there is no future for them, most likely they will die. This is a very good argument. Obviously we are all human beings, we want to help each other, otherwise even what's the point in living on this planet? But simultaneously Joel is also presenting a very convincing argument. Like, when something happens on the plane, you first of all put the mask on yourself, and then you help each and everybody else around you. The same situation is here. Like, we want to help, this is exactly what he's saying, I would take everybody, but we also need to be aware of our resources and our capabilities. If we're gonna shoot ourselves in the leg and kill this whole place, then we're not gonna help anyone. Not everyone, anyone is not gonna get any help. So this is a very difficult situation, and you want to find the middle ground. Sometimes there is no great, you know, amazing answer that's gonna satisfy everybody. But so you're just trying to help as many people as you can, even though you cannot help everybody. Like, this is exactly what she says, like, you were a refugee too. Once again, a very convincing argument. You want to shut yourself in. You don't want to become emotionless. You don't want to become a sociopath. There are people that are suffering, and if you have a capability to help, then help. So there is an argument that there is no right answer. Right now, all they can do is basically think how they can increase their resources. That's all they can do. Still, they're not going to be able to help everybody. It's impossible for Jackson to contain every living human being that right now survives on the planet. Anyway, we're moving forward, and we are seeing once again the expansion taking its toll. The cordyceps is drawn to the warmth, it is drawn to humans, and right now, because they are expanding, something's gonna happen. Now, in game 1, Jackson was attacked by raiders, by bandits, maybe some clickers, I don't remember already, but there was a big attack, and it was completely cut off the first season, which is understandable, but maybe they're planning something similar to it, like, you know, giving us it in a different way, this whole action sequence in Jackson in the future episodes. So here we are seeing, like, once again, this is almost a 100% confirmation. As soon as Tommy is saying, well, 6 ain't good, but it's not a hurt, and somebody answers to him, yet, this is already like a promise to the audience. There's gonna be a hurt. There's gonna be a hurt. Wait for it. You know, like, there is gonna be a very big action sequence in the next or maybe the third episode, whatever it is gonna be. Anyway, it's sad there's gonna be just only 7 episodes, so probably they're gonna be packed. Also, we are getting familiar with Eugene, another interesting character from the game.
Who do you used to do this route with? Jesse? Eugene.
Eugene!
Right. Oh,
Yeah,
Eugene. Man, he was funny.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, he taught me about rewiring electronics and stuff.
Fixing these breakers. They were gonna chuck the whole panel, but all they need is new springs.
Teach me?
May we all be that sharp at 73. May we all make it to 73.
And I absolutely I love it so much, the small, tiny details and the way that actors are actually working with those moments. So Joel just enters the house of his psychiatrist that was married to Eugene, even though in the game he was single and he died from, natural cause. He got a stroke at the age of 73, which in this place, in the post-apocalyptic universe, it's a very old age. And he's looking at the shoes. We have the, her shoes, the smaller one, and we have like a big boots that obviously belong to a man. She didn't remove them yet because she's not processing her grief yet. She's not ready to, move on with this loss. Probably, especially, at that kind of age, it's even more difficult because you spend your whole life with this person. And the way Pedro Pascal is acting at that moment, the way he shows like his emotions, like he understands that he was the one to kill him, like he was the one to kill Eugene. By the way, Eugene in the game was also growing weed, and anyway, hopefully this is something that we're gonna see in the future episodes. If not, I'm gonna present you some moments from the game in the future episode. So she's basically telling that this is the first birthday without her husband in 41 years. So for me, this is an indication that those 5 years were not completely, eventless. Shit happened. Like, if Joel had to kill Eugene, and she's saying like you didn't have a choice, it means he turned because somebody beat him. Okay, so there were moments, there were bad moments that happened with Jackson. It's not like that 5 years everything was peachy and Christmas and like, yay, let's kill the clickers and make some faces while we do it. Some bad things also happened and Joel had to show his evil side. We've seen this in the end of season 1. Joel is mostly a very good person. Like, he is a father, he's caring, he's capable, he's smart, he's funny, he's everything. But he also have this place in his mind where he can go and become like this Terminator, this completely emotionless cyborg that can go and terminate any danger that it's, basically presented to him. And this is exactly what she's saying, like, because of how you did it. He probably just put a gun on him and just shot him without showing any remorse, any sadness. There were probably no tears, no, forgive me please or whatever, nothing. He went to this zone of his when he is a cyborg and he just shot her husband. Even though he turned and even though she understands that he had no other choice, she cannot unsee this moment of this, once again, a psychopath, this emotionless psychopath, just going there and shooting her husband. So yeah, a very interesting moment, but we are moving to this fight and it was funny to me. No, don't get me wrong, I am happy that they are going to the more, realistic approach. They taught Bella Ramsey jiu-jitsu and this is obviously a very effective martial arts. Still, in this moment, seeing Bella Ramsey, trying to grab a leg of this dude, and his leg is probably bigger than her, it was just funny to me. I mean, in the game, everybody can tell me right now, Igor, in the game, Ellie is also, she's pretty tiny, and she's, fighting scars and seraphites, and she's basically, sometimes they're like 3 or 4 times bigger than her, and there is no complaint there, never. To that I say, yeah, I agree with you, but also when you play a video game, usually your suspension of disbelief is a little bit bigger than when you're watching a TV show, especially when it's presented as grounded as The Last of Us. So still, this is not a complaint, because later, like we are seeing this moment, he could just grab her and just smash her on the floor, and that's it. There is no more Bella Ramsey there is no more Ellie. And she's like, you know, she's really cocky, she's really confident in herself. She's like, boom, motherfucker, like I beat your ass. And then we understand that first of all, she has some instinct as a killer, like GC really had to stop her twice, tell her stop doing this, because once again, Ellie also has this place, but contrary to Joel, she kinda even enjoys it. Like we have seen this with the clicker, she's looking for this action, for this adrenaline rush. For Joel, this is just something that it's necessary to be done. He just go there to this place because he needs to do A, B, C, that's it. For her, it's an attraction, it's, you know, it's an event, it's something that is fun. And we're seeing it here, we're seeing with the clicker when she shots him in the head and she's like, yay, headshot, whatever, like, we all enjoy headshots. If you played the game, you also enjoy the headshots. That was supposed to be a headshot, but it wasn't. I promise I'm gonna get back to the fight. It's just very funny to me, this moment. Remember this moment, like, especially since in this moment Tommy is saying to her that her and Joel are basically the same person. So she is saying to Tommy like, I'm an adult, I demand respect because I'm not a little girl anymore. And then 5 seconds later she's screaming her lungs out like, I'm immune, I was beat. If this is an adult behavior, Ellie, you need to grow up a little bit more here. So yeah, it's just funny to me, the contradiction that has been shown to us in just 5 seconds. She's definitely not an adult yet. She's, even though she's like 19 already, not an adult. So just remember this moment because we're gonna have one that's very similar with Joel. Anyway, as I promised, getting back to the fight, she realized that the Scallop guy, he was pulling his punches. And thank you so much to the creators and writers for making this moment, because it would be very difficult for me to believe that this guy, the big guy, if he would punch her in the face, it would just be over with the nosebleed. I mean, he would probably kill her. And this is not some kind of a, you know, like chauvinistic moment, like, you know, all the women, they can go to the kitchen, they cannot fight the guys. Obviously, there are very strong women that can kick like 99% of dudes, like not professional, maybe, whatever. This is not the point right now. What I'm saying is that Bella Ramsey is a small girl and this guy is freaking huge. Okay, his punch would probably send me to the hospital. So same with her, and I'm just really happy that it made it more grounded. But for her, this is more painful, this is way more painful than getting punched, because she understands that the reason for them pulling punches is because they're all afraid of Joel. And this is probably the biggest topic and the biggest theme of this episode, the conflict between Joel and Ellie. Ellie wants to be an adult, she wants to be treated with respect, like she has an agency, like she's her own person. She wants to get rid of this overprotective father, especially, I cannot tell you why, especially anyway we're moving forward, because this is definitely not the only moment that Joel is protecting her, because when they were shooting the clicker, also Tommy was trying to put her away from patrol because he's kind of scared of his own brother. He's like, he's concerned about you and I don't want to put you on patrol because this is a place when you're in danger. Like even when he's coming back and Joel is asking him like, you were hunting by yourself? He's like, yeah, by myself. I mean, you are brothers. And still he's not feeling comfortable being open with Joel about it, because once again, Joel, with his protectiveness towards Ellie, is not somebody who you want to mess with. And especially in this moment, this is very funny to me when we are thinking about the sentence that Tommy said, that you are the same person. And this is like, this moment is so funny to me when Joel is talking to the psychiatrist and he's like, well, I tried what you said, I backed off. And everybody in Jackson is like, no, Ellie, I'm not gonna talk to you because Joel is gonna kill me. No, Ellie, you don't go to the patrol because Joel is afraid. No, when you fight this guy, we're gonna pull punches because we don't want to mess with Joel. his presence is hovering on top of her, like every second of her being, and he's like sitting there, you know, I did everything that you said, I backed off. I mean, this is just funny to me, and I enjoy this witty, smart writing. Once again, the people that are making this show, hats off to you, you are absolutely amazing. And what do I get for it? Nothing. You know, he's like sitting there bitching about, you know, I'm like, I'm not getting anything. You know, this Dina girl, she's really nice. And once again, he's living in his different reality. He's saying like, even Dina asked me today, what's wrong with her?
That's what she said.
Well, actually, that's not what she said, because she said why she's angry with you. She didn't place any blame on Ellie there in this conversation. She was just trying to understand what he did, but you know, Joel obviously heard what he wanted to hear, because this is what usually happens in those kind of conflicts. Like this lady in the, you know, the console, that like she said like the reality is basically a sum of our ideas or something like this.
Reality is nothing but a collective hunch. Lily Tomlin.
It's kind of one of the biggest theme of the whole story, like, you know, like you're the hero in your own story, but maybe you are the villain in somebody else's. So yeah, moving forward, like this is the moment when kind of broke our heart a little bit. Like there is a connection obviously between Joel and Dina there that we haven't seen in the game. They're not interacting in the game, but when Joel is saying, hey kiddo, we are all expecting to see Ellie, but we're actually seeing Dina, and there is this connection there, like she wants him to teach her something with the electronics. And when he says to her like, don't tell anyone I'm in therapy, this is not an angry Joel, this is not a scary Joel, this is, you know, this is an asking Joel, and he knows that he can trust her. Like he can just ask in confidence and like open his heart in this situation, and she will comply. She's not gonna tell anybody about this. So yeah, they are like friends, and there is a connection, probably not, you know, like the same like between him and Tommy and maybe somebody who is his age, but there is a connection there between him and the person that his daughter is in love with. Anyway, we're moving forward, like we're seeing that Joel is a fixer. As I told you, he's trying to fix some kind of a breakers, and there's this very interesting, nice metaphor moment, like he's testing the voltage and he's putting those two, whatever they are, and there's no like danger there, there's no electricity like right now between him and Dina, nothing there, no tension. But if we're gonna use the same ones in the conversation between him and Ellie, we're gonna see a lot of sparks, negative sparks there. And yeah, Ellie is a loner. We have seen her being that way in the first season when she was still with Fedra there, and even in the comic book, whatever, but she was always looking for friendship. She's just not a very outgoing person, she's not an extrovert, she's not gonna make like hundreds of friends, but she's looking for those close ones, you know, that she can actually trust. But we understand that she has been a loner for this period of time, for those 5 years. So yeah, Joel is a fixer, Joel is overprotective, she doesn't want him to protect her anymore, and one of the reasons she is kind of a loner is also probably of Joel's overprotectiveness, because people are kind of scared of her. It kind of reminds me when we were in Ukraine, like for the first 4 years of my school, my mother was a music teacher, so nobody would have touched me. Like nobody would have bullied me or bothered me or anything like that, because everybody would be afraid of my mom. Okay, so it's not like I was a pariah, I always had friends, etc. But I knew also, and I especially understand it right now when I'm grown up, that nobody would have like bullied me or do something to me, because once again my mom was a teacher and this situation. So look, my mom is a lovely woman, but she can be a very scary woman, especially when you're a young child. But with all due respect to my mother, I don't think she would be able to take a rifle and kill the whole place, the whole hospital filled with fireflies, even if she wanted to. So I'm gonna put my money on Joel being scarier than my mom. So if you have somebody who is like Joel, who is scary as shit, who is probably the most dangerous person in the whole Jackson, and who is also super overprotective of Ellie because of what he did and because of what he lost in season 1. So yeah, you know, not many people would be very brave to go ahead and start any relationship with Ellie. But look, with all the conflict, with everything they show to us, with this, two polar human beings that don't want to do anything with each other. Sorry, Ellie doesn't want to have anything with Joel, and he's doing anything he can to put him back in her graces. Still, the connection, the way they show us the connection between those two people, with those subtle little moments, once again, just clapping my ass up here, even though it's like 1 a.m., more than 1 a.m. right now in the middle of the night, and I'm trying to speak not as loud as I can because, my son is sleeping. It's just this moment, it's like, it's freaking genius. She recognizes him by the knock. It means that she heard this knock so many times that she knows exactly that this is Joel. Like, before even he opens the door, she knows that this is him because of the way he knocks. So this, I don't know, like, I can tell you there are no people in this world that I will be able to recognize by the way they knock on the door. So when they show it to me, I'm like, okay, those two really know each other, like really know each other. So once again, we have the iconic scene, and look, I can't dive into this one, but I think once again, because it was so similar to the game, I think it's time to make some comparison.
I woke up in the morning about 9:30, the hacks and the buggy standing in line, jets and gamblers standing around, taking little city to the bed.
These things.
Tell me about it.
Tell me about it.
Had to get half drunk just to show up.
She's putting on quite the show.
I'll give you guys 2 weeks until you're back together.
Not gonna happen.
You guys will be back together in 2 weeks, tops.
Yeah.
Ellie! Hey, what took you so long? What took you so long? Oh, I'm here, aren't I?
Come
on, let's go.
Hey, don't forget, you got early patrol, so get some rest.
Hey, don't forget, we're heading out early, so get some rest.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have a very serious question for you, okay?
I have a very serious question for you.
How bad do I smell?
How bad do I smell?
Like a hot pile of garbage?
Hot pile of garbage.
Okay. How about that?
Okay.
Gross.
Every guy in this room is staring at you right now.
Maybe they're staring at you.
They're staring at you.
They're not.
They're not.
Maybe they're jealous of you.
Maybe they're jealous of you.
No reason to be. I'm not a threat.
I think they should be terrified of you.
Hey,
Hey,
it's a family event.
it's a family event.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yikes.
What did you say?
Ellie,
Get your hell out of here.
Hey, what is wrong with you?
He had no right.
And you do? I don't need your fucking help.
Right. Right.
And once again, we have an overprotective dad being humiliated by Ellie here in this situation, coming back, and still he wants to fix the guitar for her, because this is the connection between them. This is, once again, this is one of those moments that make them really dad and daughter, and not just, my protector that protects me when I need to be protected. Those moments, like the giraffes, like they are playing on the guitar together, those are the moments that make them family. So he, seeing the guitar being thrown away, neglected, he still cannot do anything with himself, and he wants to fix this because, once again, as I told you, he is a fixer. He sees something that is broken, he is there to fix it. But the only thing he cannot fix is the relationship with the only person that matters to him in life. And this moment just freaking breaks my heart, especially when we also have those kind of moments that still prove to us that, you know, Ellie also wants to be like him, even subconsciously. Like when they're talking about the Curtis and Viper, this is the movie that, you know, Joel was seen with Sophia in episode 1 of season 1. This is a movie that was mentioned in the games, Curtis and Viper. This is obviously a non-existent movie, it's like an action movie, it's like similar to the late 80s, the beginning of the 90s. Okay, so, and when both Dina and Jesse are saying to her, you look like Curtis and Viper, this is not something that she even probably done on purpose, but once again she grew up with Joel. But obviously she had enough years with Joel, both of them watching the movie, and she grew up with him, so everything that he does is sort of an example for her. And this is why subconsciously she even tries to look like the heroes that Joel admires, because she wants to be admired by Joel too. So yeah, like she's pretty upset about it, because every teenager, they don't want to be seen like this, they don't want to be seen connected to their parents, they want to be like, you know, I'm an adult, I was beat, I'm such an adult in this situation. And we have the relationship, the love triangle. Dina, Ellie, and Jesse. And Jesse here is flirting a little bit with Dina, and Dina is kind of liking it, and we can see that Ellie is very jealous in this situation. She is not processing it very well. So they have a conversation, and we're talking about Kat. Now, Kat was Ellie's girlfriend, it was in the games, she was the one to give her the tattoo, one of the most iconic tattoos in the video game history.
You never really talked to me about Kat. Yeah, because there isn't much to talk about. Yow. I got the impression that you didn't really like her. I don't care about her one way or the other. Okay. No, I think she's a talented artist. I've grown to like that tattoo of yours. That's so big of you. And I think she wasn't right for you. Interesting. Shut up. Okay.
And they're talking about like Kat, for some reason she's the captain of this squad, even though she has like zero authority. This is my first nitpick to this script. I mean, even like Dina and Ellie being very rebellious and not really accepting authority from anybody, like the way they show her to us, it doesn't feel like she would be able to command anyone. And yeah, so Dina is flirting with her, Ellie is not really accepting it because once again she's very self-conscious, she's also shy, and she cannot really believe that somebody who is like Dina, who is very popular and everybody wants to beat her, and somebody who is like Dina is actually for her. It's sort of a fairy tale situation for her, so she's like, you know, I don't know who I'm gonna go with, tell you what, you can go with me. And Ellie obviously takes it as a joke, like, so yeah, this is Kat. Different from what we have seen in the game. Even though we haven't seen her in the game, there is a drawing of her in Ellie's journal. We're gonna talk about this also today. So yeah, just, you know, glad we have Kat, I guess. And once again, another trouble with authority, like, sir, yes sir. We have a lot of moments like this in the TV show when they were like, you know, you're just 4 years older than us. Like, once again, they are looking for a reason why we actually need to listen to you. We're very professional, we're experienced, we know exactly what to do, and you're, you know, making a fuss about it. You're like very serious about it, Jesse, you know, blah blah blah, listen to me. And we understand that even though they want to be adults, they're still not adults, because once again, this is a very teenager behavior. When you're an adult, you know that there is only one time to fall asleep on the wheel, and it's gonna end with a catastrophe. And it's not like you haven't been driving for a lot of years. You may be driving for 20 or 30 years already. You're a super experienced driver, but enough one time to fall asleep at the wheel. That's it, only one time. And this is exactly what adults understand in this situation. You need to be careful, especially when you go to a patrol when there are infected that can kill you, and you can actually encounter maybe some new infected that you don't know how to deal with. But we get to that a little bit later. Also, this moment I enjoyed it. I kind of first had like maybe like a fraction of a second of a panic moment. Like, because once again, gender issues are obviously important and relevant, especially in our time. Yeah, but The Last of Us is definitely not about that. Okay, there are no, women don't go to fight clickers. No sentiment like that. Not presented even by whatever the rapist guy from season 1, David. Even he was a little bit there, but like it's not a prevalent ideology, especially not in Jackson. So when Ellie's saying if you'd rather let the men handle it, this is not gender. This is once again the men, the grown-ups. You want to let the grown-ups handle it, those that treat us like we're kids, or do you want to show the world who we are and what we are capable of? So this is what I really enjoyed in this moment. But here I have a question, like during this questioning of them, like when Ellie is saying to Tommy, like, if you and Joel were at our place, you would do the same. And Tommy is saying to her that basically, well, that ain't the same. Ellie is asking why, understandable, but why his wife is asking him how is it different? There's a pretty answer to that. They're 10 times, no, 100 times more experienced than Dina and Ellie there. I mean, they were doing this before Ellie was born. So if they go in, yeah, they have way more chances to go out alive. So yeah, I don't know what they were talking here about. Yeah, there is a lot of difference between Joel and Tommy getting inside a dangerous place and Dina and Ellie. Tommy, Joel, 2 clickers by the gas station, clear them, otherwise clear. That's probably regarding the moment when she was telling him, like, if it was you and Joel, you would probably do something different, right? And she was like, yeah, that's different. So as I told you, we get familiar with the new kind of infected, the stalker. We're gonna get probably a couple of more, maybe not this season, maybe season 3, because the whole of the events of the second game are going to be divided into 2 seasons. Probably the first half, the first 7 episodes, and then another 7 episodes, 7 or 8. Hopefully the more the merrier. And this one is smarter. When you look at it, it even looks way more human than the rest of the ones we have seen. The eyes are almost completely untouched. They're just red, but I'm not seeing that much of a cordyceps there. So a lot of brain functions are still operating, and they are working apparently together with the cordyceps. And actually this thing wins. If Ellie didn't have any immunity, she would die because she was bitten. And once again, it shows that there is a big difference between Tommy and Joel getting inside a place, a dangerous place, and between Ellie and Dina getting inside a dangerous place, because once again, the only reason she's alive is because she's 1 in a billion of humanity. So yeah, moving on, I just enjoy those moments because in the game, they're just being shown to us, oh, okay, that's stalkers. And here we kinda, like, the origins of the stalkers, how they got their name. Ellie said that they were stalking. I really like those changes from the main game. I mean, there are some changes that you understand, okay, this is different. But there are a lot of scenes in this TV show that are basically, this is maybe something that kind of happened behind the scenes. Maybe something that we haven't seen, but it just could have happened in the story that was presented to us. And those probably the scenes I enjoy the most. I really love when they just taking something from the game and straight away put it in the TV show, and I like comparing these moments, but still, it's just once again reliving the same. When they're changing something, a part of me is a bit upset, okay? It's not like I'm, really bugged about it. If it's not disrespectful towards the source material, I'm okay with it most of the time. But sometimes I'm like, yeah, I don't really see a reason why you want to do this. I guess you have a reason, but okay. But when you have those moments, like, Ellie is learning to fight, she's doing jiu-jitsu, and they get familiar with stalkers, and, Joel is building houses. This is something that could have completely happened in the storyline that was already shown to us in the game, and it's just expanding it instead of changing it, and I'm a big fan of it. Very big fan. So we get into finally to the Easter eggs, to something that us, the gamers, are enjoying. Hopefully you are enjoying it as much as I am. So we get some nods to the game mechanics. There is this R1 button, the listening button, when you just listen to the noises, and in the game you right away you see where the clickers and where the infected are. And here we can see that Dina and Ellie are listening to the infected, and they're realizing that there are two of them instead of one, like Ellie thought in the beginning. There is another game mechanics, throwing the bottle. Even though I enjoy myself throwing the bottle more at the infected and then attacking them with the knife, here they're using the mechanic of throwing a bottle, and the clicker, who doesn't see anything and is being drawn to noise, is just going there, and then Ellie is killing him. There's also, I wouldn't call it even a game mechanic, this is just, I don't know, this is a default behavior for me. Like when I'm in a dangerous place, I don't know what to expect, but I understand that shit is about to hit the fan right now. I switch to shotgun because there's probably gonna be a bloater and I need some firepower. So the second, Ellie put away her gun and she just switched to shotgun, it was just a smiling moment for me. I was just happy to see it, that's all. Another Easter egg, even though it's not really connected to the game, it's just something that shows us where we are. I mean, in the game, the apocalypse events happened in 2014, and in the TV show, it's 2003, and this is why we're seeing Friends being in the height of their popularity. Jennifer Aniston here, we are seeing Matt LeBlanc there, so, Friends, Ben Affleck there, he's marrying J-Lo. I don't know which one of those times already is, like, probably the first one. So, yeah, just fun moment to me, and all of those notes and the boards, we have a lot of them in the game. They are very big part of creating this reality. Like, I think the second time when I was playing this game, I was not running with the story. Like, every location I was at, I spent hours there reading every note on the board, reading, the effectiveness sheets on the offices spaces. I was giving respect to every little detail that was created by the people who made those games, and seeing the same thing here in the TV show just makes my heart sing. I don't know. Anyway, like, also the locks on the door, this is something that you encounter in the games many times. This is explained by people locking the doors, because in the beginning of the apocalypse and also later, you probably used to lock a lot of doors because, you wanted to protect yourself from the infected. Now, this moment, I know you want it. I mean, the first time I've seen this, I was like, yeah, I'm replaying the game. Yeah, I'm just, it's not something you can even fight. It's an urge. You have to do it. You know you have to do it. This is what I wanted to do when I watched the TV show. This is the moment. This is inviting.
Agreed.
Yes, please. Of course, we have the iconic backpack, but we still have it also in Season 1, so I'm not gonna linger on too much. Shimmer is also Ellie's horse in the game, so another Easter egg here.
Hey, Shimmer.
We have this iconic moment with the knife. Everything is iconic to me, please forgive me, because this whole game is iconic to me. Anyway, her knife is obviously very popular for everybody who played the game, but once again, another moment that's very similar to what we have seen in the game. Oh, that moment. I didn't even remember this in the game, like...
Hey, is Joel up?
Got reports of infected out north. You sent him and Tommy out early to scout.
That sucks.
Yep. Can't imagine they got much sleep. Definitely not as much as you.
Well, she has boots in this one.
I was just about to get up. I was.
You got everything?
Yes.
Anyway, we have the Curtis and Viper. We talked a little bit about this, but once again, Easter egg and Easter egg again. So Joel liked those movies. We have seen them in Season 1. We have seen them in the game.
What movie are you guys gonna watch? What's Joel into?
Yeah, okay.
Curtis and Viper 2. That's the one that's been on my radar for a while.
Oh, wow.
Well, we used to watch these cheesy 80s action movies. He's really into them.
Oh, no.
I actually really like them, too.
What's Curtis and Viper 2 about?
Okay, so 2 former commandos that go rogue to fight bad guys. And I think in this one, they go up against Russian spies or something.
I'm more interested in this than I thought I would be.
All right, so the young one, Viper, he's a trained ninja. And he's a complete badass.
So how old is he in the first movie?
10.
Wait, how many movies did they make of this?
I think they made 4?
Jeez.
Joel actually saw the last one in the theater. Am I crazy?
Yes.
Ellie, of course, is wearing her old stars. Even though in the game, in this moment, not this moment exactly like in the game, most of the events that are happening this day are actually happening on the next day. You know, chronologically, everything in the game happens after the New Year Eve, and here most of the things that happen thereafter happening before. So anyways, just once again, the shoes are very, very familiar to everybody who played the game.
I think we should go out like Eugene.
From a stroke?
No, from old age, like living a long life.
You? No way. Come on. You're way too reckless.
Look who's talking.
Well, you'll probably die from hypothermia from wearing canvas sneakers in the snow.
I am wearing boots today.
And this moment is one of my favorite from the episode, Easter egg wise, because if you remember, this is the first safe in the game. You go there and you're seeing a good boy, and he's in July here also because the code to the safe is 07-2014. Here, if we would have a safe, it would be probably, 07-2003, but still, like, we have two good boys right now. I mean, this is already a treat. We have two amazing good boys into creations. Here we go. This is the desk. And look, we have a different kind of, what's his name? July 2013. So the employee of the market of the month. And also we have in-game experience. This is me diving into the game because we have the Starlight poster here, we have the 20 whatever something poster, we have a little couple of other moments. Starlight, this is something, this is like the comic books that we were gathering in the first installment of the game, and this is just a poster that we are seeing that Ellie took her obsession with this, her love to this story with her through the teenage years, which is very nice. Okay, so we can see,
Smells fine.
this is her working table. This is what we have seen in the TV show. Yeah, we have a very similar, whatever you want to call this. Now this is the poster of the Thoughts 20. Is it the end? What's that? I have no idea. Talk about goodbye. We have the Savage Starlight and a Transformer, a Spaceman there, and here's the poster. I don't know who is that? And of course we have dinosaurs, like here in this moment we're seeing probably a page from her diary where she drew some dinosaurs, a T-Rex with a crown because he's the king of the dinosaurs, and she wrote something. I tried to zoom in, I was not able to read it. I think I know from which moment she made it, but once again I don't want to spoil anything for people who didn't play the game, but everybody who played knows exactly what I'm talking about. And this is not the first reference of dinosaurs. Tommy Sander is also wearing a hoodie with the dinosaurs. I don't know if it's a hoodie that was just given to him by mistake, maybe just a gift, or maybe it was taken from a certain place that have a museum about dinosaurs, and from the gift shop maybe, or something like this, and was brought to him by his auntie Ellie. I don't know, maybe this is an answer we're gonna get in this season, or maybe it's just something that will stay in my imagination. Also, we have the horses in the psychiatrist room, and Joel is looking at them because if you remember, in Joel's house there are a lot of images of horses because he was kind of obsessed with it. He has his hobbies now, he's not only killing and smuggling, and once again this is just something that we can learn about. And of course the diary, which is a very important tool of understanding the story. There are a lot of interesting moments there that you should probably read if you want to learn what happened in those 5 years, even though in the game it's 4 years. Okay, once again another change. And the last and final Easter egg for today is one of the people who is playing there in the bed is actually Gustavo Santaolalla. So Every time you are experiencing those enormous goosebumps when you're listening to this TV show soundtrack, to this guitar in the intro or in some emotional moments, this is the person who is responsible. This is genius, okay? This is 1 in 100 million people on Earth. Goosebumps. The music is always goosebumps.
Didn't say otherwise.
Wow. I feel it in my whole body, like the guitar is insane. I mean, there are amazing musicians, there are very talented musicians who deserve every possible praise. But sometimes you get somebody who is so unique. There can be only one, like in those, old movies with Christopher Lambert, there can be only one Gustavo Santaolalla. That's it. Nobody else can create this amazing sound, and how lucky we are to have somebody like that in the game and in the TV show. And once again, even like doing a cameo. He did a cameo in the game. He was playing a guitar on the street with the dog, and here he is with the band. And by the way, the band that is playing there is also the band that is responsible for the music of the second installment of the game. So that's it so far. I hope you enjoyed my review. I know it was a bit in the rush and I was planning to do something way better and more, like with more effort to you. But as I told you somewhere in the middle of this review, it's almost 2 a.m. and I have a lot of things to do. And the only free time that I have right now is the middle of the night, because during the day my son is awake and me and his mom need to do whatever we can to make him safe and happy. So yeah, so probably I'm just a little bit tired. Hopefully it didn't affect your experience watching this video. So if you liked it, feel free to do whatever you want. You don't have to do anything, but if you want to do something, go ahead, like whatever your heart tells you. If you didn't like the video, still thank you so much for watching it until this moment. If you want to let me know how can I improve, I would love to read your comments. And as usual, I want to thank everybody who supports me on Patreon and on YouTube. Your financial support and your donations, this is what makes this channel happen. This is really what makes this channel to, hopefully grow and continue to exist. And as usual, I want to welcome new members, and lucky for me, I have a couple of names to mention right now. I have a new champion in the community with the nickname Zibi. Thank you so much for your support. And we have some new motivators: Sarah Wasserman, Tom Bulowski, Daniel Reyes Liaras, Nancy Berry, Livio Oana, and I also have Lynn Stedford, who is back. She was a motivator, then she stopped for a little bit, and then she came back, and I'm really happy to see you again in our small but awesome community. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully I'm gonna see you in more of the Last of Us content, because I plan to do more videos. I really want to talk about it. I obviously need somebody to actually watch this. I don't want to be a psychopath who's just talking to the camera and like, oh my god, Last of Us is amazing, and nobody listens. And so yeah, I hope there will be people that enjoy this video. Anyway, thank you. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Meanwhile, bye. Green Place Market.
Dina.
It's the same truck.